الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا وشفيعنا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Globally, the people, we are all experiencing difficult times. We're going through trials and tribulations because of the current economic crisis that we find ourselves in. It is affecting every aspect of our lives. The crisis challenges our condition, our values, our lifestyle. But alhamdulillah and inshallah, we shall survive. And we will survive through this. And this survival will be greatly influenced by our business acumen, by our wise planning, by our hope, by our moral strength. This and our Iman, that will see us through in these difficult times. We are totally stressed about this economic crisis. It has consequences far beyond the family budget. It extends way beyond that. And the social and the economic problems that associated with it has become huge. While money generally is a common cause of stress and marital tension, the jobless rates and companies closing down have reached new heights. Never have we seen this in our lifetime. The serious global economic downturn we're currently seeing, the mortgage crisis we are finding ourselves, the threats of jobs that's looming over our heads that we're going to be laid off, the possibility, and it's happening, of people concerned about losing their homes and their savings, and both has brought about a tremendous degree of pessimism and negativity. And because of all this, we even lash out at our loved ones, unfairly, unjustly. In this life, our existence is surrounded by certain necessities which holds a firm grip on us. And from the day we are born, there are certain necessities which we need, which is being provided for us. And some of these necessities, as you know, food, clothes, shelter, these are basic aspects in our lives. And the preservation of life's system depends upon this. The needs of this type are quite natural. In a world where services and goods are obtained through payment, money and finance become fundamentally important for survival. And many of us survive beyond our means by going towards credit facilities. Our elderly, our fathers and our forefathers had a simple philosophy: if we haven't got it, we don't need it, we don't need to get it. That was it. But unfortunately, because we are growing in such a materialistic world, that even if we haven't got the money, we will ensure that we'll put ourselves in debt in order to raise our standard of living. And there's nothing wrong with that. But at the expense that riba, that interest, and the banks control your lives, there's something wrong with us. When you ask some people, mashallah, holiday home, 3 cars, this and that, and you ask them one question: Is it fully paid off? No, bond on that, overdraft on that. This one's a private loan, this one is that loan. So what belongs to you? Nothing belongs to us. Allah has just given it to us for us to see how we play with these things. But to be self-sufficient or able to sustain oneself economically is an outcome of human instinct to survive in this world. The human drive to seek good things, to secure interest, and most importantly, to satisfy our needs. The desire to meet one's basic obligation and basic needs is evident with what our Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said. He says, طلب الحلال فريضة بعد الفرائض. Seeking lawful means of livelihood is an obligation after other obligations. Take note. Here the word farida and fara'id is being used. Faridatun ba'da al-fara'id. That, like ilm, we hear the hadith so many times. Talab al-ilm faridatun. That to seek knowledge is compulsory upon every male and female. The exact hadith, just changing and using the word livelihood. Our livelihood is important that we have to seek. If you intend to get married, our young people, it is haram if you are unable to nafaka and maintain that woman that you're taking out from somebody else's house that has got a certain type of life or way of life. You cannot take somebody out of somebody's environment and you're unable to maintain, then rather fast, says Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Puasa is cheaper. Lichter. Human beings in relation to the environment have been predisposed to utilize all possible resources to satisfy our human needs. And I'm not speaking from the conglomerates and the companies that is basically raping the economy globally. We are witnessing greedy companies or conglomerates that is basically raping the environment to satisfy their greed at the expense of the ordinary people and the poor people. The earth is made available to all of us. It's for human use. It's called taskhir. As Allah says in the Quran, وَسَخَّرَ لَكُمُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَسَخَّرَ لَكُمْ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا مِّنْهُ إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. And He has subjected to you all that is in the heavens and in the earth. Behold, in that there are signs indeed for those to reflect. What Muslim would not like to have safety, peace, tranquility? And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says so beautifully, he says, مَنْ أَصْبَحَ مِنْكُمْ آمِنًا فِي سِرْبِهِ مُعَافًا فِي جَسَدِهِ عِنْدَ قُوتٌ يَوْمِهِ فَكَأَنَّمَا حِيزَتْ لَهُ الدُّنْيَا. He says, whoever wakes up safe in his home, healthy in his body, has sufficient sustenance for the day, is like the one who has the goodness of the world presented to him. What wise words. Pious people say, if you sit under a tree, just the shade of the tree, and you have enough provision, even if it's dry berry, it's enough. Look around us, my dear brothers and sisters. We find these vagrants, we find the homeless ones, we call them misters. I think to a degree I envy them. They sit on that pavement the whole day from morning to night. They sit under somebody else's tree, they got the shade, and at night they probably go sleep on somebody else's plot. There's no taxes involved, there's no VAT for them, they're not probably even registered. All they are looking for, if a piece of bread comes for that particular day, they are satisfied, alhamdulillah. Here the more we have, the more we want. This is our problem. So how do we react, my dear brothers and sisters, in this situation? How do we react in accordance with what we are perceiving, the reality we are encountering. And the perception is how do we interpret this? And what we say to ourselves. There are 2 or 3 aspects we can look at it. We say, how do you interpret what is happening? The optimist. He looks at the rose tree and sees the rose and not its thorns. And this is a famous saying by Khalil Gibran, the famous poet. He says, the optimist looks at the rose tree and he sees the rose and not its thorns. But the pessimist, he sees the thorns oblivious of the rose. How does this affect you? Are you responsible for the situation? Can you improve the situation? Can you change the situation? Allah says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيْرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيْرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah will not change the condition of a people or a person until you change that which is within yourself. It is so. We have to do that. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant. Robert Louis Stevenson said so beautifully. He was a famous author, you see, who wrote Treasure Island. When he was small, we used to read these books. Pessimism often gives a small thing a big shadow. Isn't it so? Everybody's problem is bigger than everybody else's. Don't get bogged down. There's an African saying, don't get bogged down with where you are. Work towards where you could be. So think positively. We must avoid pessimism. And Allah says in the Quran, إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ خُلِقَ هَلُوعًا. Verily, the human being has been made a restless disposition. إِذَا مَسَّهُ الشَّرُّ جَزُوعًا. Whenever misfortune touches him, he is filled with self-pity, says Allah in the Quran. Look at us. وَإِذَا مَسَّهُ الْخَيْرُ مَنُوعًا. And whenever good fortune comes to him, he selfishly withholds it from others. So if we must look in self-introspection with our lives, what is happening to us? What are we in relation to what is happening around us? Are we part of the problem? And Allah uses a very next verse. He says, the only people who survive through these, إِلَّا الْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَلَى صَلَاتِهِمْ دَائِمُونَ. Except those who are devoted to salah and those who remain constant in their salah. Nabi alayhi salam says, pessimism. Ash-shu'um su'ul khalq. That pessimism is a bad character trait within us. We have to learn to deal with difficulty without accepting failure. We have to tackle the challenges, feeling defeated without feeling defeated. We have to tackle them. And we have to recognize errors without repeating the mistakes. And we have to face disappointments without being discouraged. Brothers and sisters, you know there's a saying, when life serves you lemons, don't be sour. Make lemonade. Sis maar bietjie passion fruit ook by. Weet jy nog al 'n lekker drink? But that passion fruit and lemonade is the zest of life that we must have in applying everything that we do. For example, you could be negative and about not knowing or not having everything, but you should be thankful that you don't already have everything that you desire. Think about it. If you did have everything, what is there to look forward to? Be thankful that you don't know everything, for it gives you an opportunity to learn. Be thankful for your limitations, because they give you opportunities to improve. Be thankful when you are tired and weary, because it means you have tried to make a difference. Be thankful for each new challenge which Allah gives us, because it will build your strength and your character. The World Health Organization is basically saying the financial crisis will increase the levels of mental illness worldwide. It's a problem. Mense dink seker dat die Imam is seker die mekaar, is dit die fan aan gesproke word daar. This crisis, my dear brothers and sisters, I'm speaking worldwide here. It's a worldwide phenomenon. has created so much stress. It's created suicides. It's created murders. It's created heart attacks, strokes, chronic diseases, nervous breakdowns, mental crises. Some studies have concluded that 57% of workers in the stock exchange are affected by psychosomatic illnesses. This is what's happening. But as for the believer, as for the mu'min, look what Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam says. He says, how wonderful is the situation of the believer, for all his affairs are good. If something good happens to him, he gives thanks for it, and that is good for him. If something bad happens to him, he bears it with patience, and that is good for him. This doesn't apply, my dear brothers, as Nabi alayhi salam says. This doesn't apply to anyone but the believer. May Allah make us of that, inshallah, that type of character which we need in these difficult times. Because ultimately, in the entire equation that we find ourselves, the believer realizes it is a test. Really, it's a test. تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير. Blessed is he in whose hands is the dominion, and he is able to do anything and all the things. الذي خلق الموت والحياة, who has created death and life. Why? ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا, that he may test you which of you is best in deeds, and he is the Almighty and the All-Forgiving. We have hopes, we have optimism, we have expectation. An optimistic attitude enables a person to approach situations differently. Why? Because his expectation will be success, inshallah. Hope is an attitude. It pertains to our positive and perspective of the future. It's a state of mind that serves as a source of encouragement. It's a motivational force. It enhances perseverance and persistence. وَأْمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَاسْتَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا. Allah says in the Quran, and enjoin and order the aspect of salah, devoted to our salah, وَاسْتَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا, and be persistent at it and persevere at it. Allah says, فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. We hear that all the time. With hardship, there will come relief. إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. And most certainly, along with hardship, there is relief. فَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ فَانْصَبْ وَإِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَارْغَب. And when you have finished your occupation that you're busy with, devote yourself to Allah's worship, and to Allah is your return and all your intentions and hopes. Despite difficulties, despite trials, despite tribulations, consider the best action, my dear brothers and sisters, to act upon. The Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has stated already, as I've said earlier, that pessimism is part of bad character. We can't afford to be in a state of depression for this. No. The Quran says, could the consequence of goodness be anything but good? Of course. It motivates a person towards that which is beneficial. We have to recognize the fact that people with positive attitudes rise above their circumstances, while people with negative attitudes, they remain victims of circumstances. We have to find out to ourselves and ask, are we victims, or are we going to rise way above the circumstances we find ourselves in? We have to check our blessings. A wise person said, wise is the person who grieves not for what he does not have, but gratefully rejoices in what he does have. Famous Roman philosopher said that. But look what Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says. He says, "Man lam yashkur al-qalil, lam yashkur al-kathir." Whosoever is not thankful with a little will never be thankful with a lot. Because we're greedy, we're not satisfied, we haven't got that satisfaction of contentment in our heart. Charles Dickens says so beautifully. He says, reflect upon your present blessings, of which every person has plenty. Reflect not upon your past misfortunes, of which all people have some. What an amazing thing. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam one day asked, who are the best of people? And he replied to that. He said, إِذَا أَحْسِنُوا إِسْتَبْشَرُوا وَإِذَا أَسَاءُوا إِسْتَغْفَرُوا وَإِذَا أُعْطُوا أُشْكُرُوا وَإِذَا أُغْضَبُوا اغْفِرُوا وَإِذَا أُبْتِلُوا أُصْبِرُوا. Subhanallah. He says, those who are cheerful when they do good, who are repentant when they do wrong, who are grateful when they receive, who show patience when in difficulty, and pardon when they are angered. May Allah make us, Allah invite within us those type of characteristics, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. We have to value our loved ones. In navigating this road of life, my dear brothers and sisters, do not be a victim of what happens to you, but rather be the architect of the road and make things happen. Learn to ride the wave of life with its ups and its downs, its joys and its tears, its happiness and its sadness. This is what life is all about. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ عَلَى حَرْفٍ فَإِنْ أَصَابَهُ خَيْرٌ اطْمَأَنَّ بِهِ وَإِنْ أَصَابَتْهُ فِتْنَةٌ انقلب على وجهه خسر الدنيا والآخرة ذلك هو الخسران المبين. Allah says, there are among men some who serve Allah as if were on the edge. If good befalls them, they are well content therewith. But if a trial comes to them, they turn on their faces and they lose both this world and the hereafter. And that is a loss for all to see, says Allah in the Quran. I'm saying this on purpose, my dear brothers and sisters, because in these kind of times, people do silly and stupid things. I'm not even going to the aspect of haram and this and that. I am worried about people that take their lives, that commit suicide. You and I know these aspects is not permissible in Islam. There is a worldwide trend, but these things do happen. And don't think it hasn't happened in our community, it has. And we feel sorry that some people went that route. But we have to be strong enough to persevere in order to face these challenges. Because our Iman tells us that. And as you know, to take our lives because of material things, it's haram. To take our lives is haram. And over and above that, to take innocent children with you and killing them as well. What is wrong? What is wrong with us? These are the things that we're finding ourselves, we are reading in the news and in the papers. Ya Allah, just ensure that the economic trials we endure, my dear brothers, do not bring out the worst in our character and our behavior. And remember, nothing material is worth taking our lives over. And nothing, and absolutely nothing, is worthy or justified that causes harm to our loved ones, let alone to take our lives. With the advance of the mathematical science and probability theories and the invention of computers which analyze and work out all the complex equations, some Westerners thought that it was enough to judge the future and know about it precisely. How wrong they were. Because they relied on it so much and it did not work for them. So this crisis was a great disappointment for those people who depended on that. The expectations and the studies was a shock when all this thing was happening globally. Allah spoke the truth. وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلٌ. And of knowledge that we have given you, O mankind, we have given you very little. يَعْلَمُونَ ظَاهِرًا مِنَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَهُمْ عَنِ الْآخِرَةِ هُمْ غَافِلُونَ. They know only the outside appearance of the life of the world. In other words, that which matters. Your livelihood, your irrigation and so forth, and they are heedless of the hereafter. May Allah make us not heedless of the hereafter. Finally, we ask Allah to make His word supreme and to cause Islam and the Muslims to prevail and to compensate with goodness those Muslims and whoever who have been affected and increase their reward. May He help us all to do that with which He loves and is pleased with. وَاللَّهُ غَالِبٌ عَلَىٰ أَمْرِهِ وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. And Allah has full power and full control over His affairs, but most of the men know not. May Allah forgive me.